lady.
Hello,
Hello.
Jeannie.
I always love to talk to the ladies of The Chosen.
Yes.
Um, I think a lot because of the representation that ladies have in The Chosen, and sometimes in biblical things or things like that on screen, you don't really see that. But I think The Chosen has a really good understanding of our role. So we're into season 4, halfway. And I know this season kind of delves into some dark things and some pain and even death. Talk about the importance of going through the human experience with the series. I think in society, we've had a lot of darkness and death and pain, especially in the last couple of years. Talk about showing that part of the human experience, but also having there be hope and some kind of redemptive theme, especially with The Chosen.
Yeah, I think I think it really shines light on just how important it is to put the differences aside because we're humans and we suffer the same. We go through the same losses or deaths. We experience that pain, the joy. But I think the difference in really coming together in that and learning to walk together in it, and just the message of the chosen as well, and what Jesus came to do, which was really just kind of get rid of all the radical like religious leaders of and how they think that things need to be done, where he just came to truly he came to die and to bring that hope. So that's where we can walk differently in life, where we can suffer and walk through that, but we don't have to do it alone, physically or spiritually. We have someone there for us. So
Beautiful. Vanessa, we got to chat a little bit about just The Chosen and just being the mother, the representation, holding it down for the moms, the mom of all mom, right? After our conversation, I was just thinking about as a mom, having to see your child go through different phases of life. And we're still kind of early in our journey of motherhood. But just can you talk to that, as a woman, as a female, the things as a mom, we go through, we're in the highs and the lows with our children and being that support. I don't know both of your backgrounds. I know you're married and I'm married, even as a wife, having to wear different hats and be different, whatever, the person that we're interacting with needs. I think that's a superpower that women have. And I don't know if the guys have it. Sorry to our camera guys. But talk to that, just being able to display even that for The Chosen.
Well, I think it's interesting that you mentioned that as a woman, because I feel like we've seen her or the iconography around Mary is usually as a mom, right? And in very vulnerable and extreme situations. And definitely at her core, I think of her ministry, it's her motherhood. But in this show, we see her as a woman as well as a friend, as a part of the community. And I think, it really is so important to see these other aspects of this woman who was not only vulnerable and a woman of faith, but also a friend and a strong, committed individual who had to say yes to this story at a very young age and had to go through so much hardship that had to have shaped her personality and her values in such a way that we tend to forget that. And because we see her in these extreme situations, we forget that she walked. Her journey was so much richer. So I'm happy to show that light, show a little light on her journey the few people get to see.
That. Lara, we were kind of cut short when I talked to you last at NRB because for time's sake, but we were just talking about just faith and the importance of having content of faith and that. And I know you're very open about your own journey, and we only have a couple minutes, but I wanted to kind of just get your take. I mean, I sat with you at season 1, sat with you. Did I sit with you in season 2? I don't know, but I know we've been sitting down to speak throughout the seasons. Yeah. Talk about the growth, even in the faith aspect of the chosen and the reach.
I think with the chosen, it's really shined light a lot on who Jesus was, who he still is, and I think it's truly just such an impactful show and changing the world globally as well. So it's been just incredible to see where it's started and now where it's going, and getting in front of more audiences and really just impacting and changing the world.
Well, talk about the power of the that transforming thing. Like you are both actresses, and I've been in the industry my whole life too, and we don't always get to do things that really has power to kind of transform. And that's wild.
For sure, yeah. I think I've mentioned before where not a lot of actors get to say that they're a part of a show that's quite literally saving lives, changing lives, that's reaching people globally in almost now 600 languages we're trying to reach towards. And I think there's a really beautiful reason for that. And I just can't wait to see what else comes from it, and being a part of it and getting to help impact and be a part of something like that is still so mind-blowing. I feel like I haven't been able to really I don't know, we're kind of trying to keep up as we go. We're learning as we go. Yeah.
That's what happened. Wow.
Yeah, we get to live all these experiences that we never thought we would, and you, as an actor, I think you always want your work, or you hope that your work can have an impact or can reach someone's heart, really. And the fact that we are doing that at a global scale is like you say, it's mind-blowing.
Right.
It's crazy with a story that's been told so many times, but it's almost like everyone's experiencing it for the first time still. And that to me is the true power of The Chosen.
Yeah, and experiencing it from different stages of their life. And that's beautiful. And I love what you said, like it's impacting their hearts. So regardless of where they're from, how they grew up, what they believe, when they see this beautiful historical drama that we've just been able to put out into the world is really, really special.